Have you ever walked into a home and you just knew it was the home for you? That's how I think you're going to feel at the end of walking through this Rayburn model brought to us by History Maker Homes. It's not just a house, it may well be the launch pad for your next chapter. I'm taking you inside right now. My name's Colin, and by the end you'll see why people are calling this the smartest buy in Devonshire. Let's go. All right, everybody, we are back in the Devonshire community. This is the Rayburn 3 model. It offers 2,261 square feet on the low end and 2,369 square feet on the high end. You can get anywhere from 4 to 6 bedrooms in this home, 2 to 5 baths, and get this, you could also get a 3-car tandem garage, which I think is super smart, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it later. This home at the time of recording is starting at $367,990. And right now, if you remember from last week, they have an incredible fixed interest rate that you can take advantage of. As interest rates continue to fluctuate, as all these things in the market continue to fluctuate, it's nice to know that there are some incentives to be able to buy these homes and get you into the home that you're looking for. Also recall that this community is offering the potential for a USDA loan depending on qualification. So that's not marketing, that's just math. If you can get a great interest rate at a great price, it seems worth it to me. So we're going to walk through this home today. I'm going to show you a little bit about some of the pointers and things that stood out to me. If you guys recall from last week, we talked about some of the technology and upgrades that this particular builder is going to be putting in these homes. If you want more information on that, definitely get a hold of me because I can explain it a little bit better than I can in this short video. But they're doing some really cool things. So keep in mind as we're walking through this home that it's not going to be exactly what you're going to get when you're designing your home because they are increasing their upgrades. They're actually making them even nicer than what they have here. So just keep that in mind as we walk through. One thing I really wanted to point out about this bedroom and bathroom here is that it's good size. Again, it's not a ton of space. Nothing about this home has a ton of space, but it feels extremely livable. And what I mean by that is that when you're walking through a home and it's super big and you have to have a map to be able to walk through it, sometimes it can feel really daunting. But when you're trying to purchase a home, maybe it's your first time home, or maybe it's a second home, or you're trying to downsize, but you still need some space. You don't want a home where it's too much space, you can't figure out how to get around. You don't know what you're going to do with some of the space. It definitely stresses some of my buyers out. So this home, I felt like utilized space really well. You didn't have a ton of it, but you had what you needed, which is really important. My first impressions of this home were obviously a little tainted by the fact that I got to speak to the builder and he told me a little bit more about what they're doing to this community. So maybe tainted isn't the right word. Maybe it's skewed a little bit because I was really impressed with them when I talked to them. Quick note about the backyard here. If you remember last week, we mentioned that you can't really see the lot lines between this model and the model next door. This is supposed to give you a general outline of what they're doing in the backyard. And keep in mind that your lot may look a little bit different than this. So as we head back inside here, I just want to point out the flow of this space. It's really cozy in my opinion. And what I mean by that is that everything flows really well. And I really like the fact that they had a half bathroom just off the living space here and the kitchen so that when you have guests over, you have family over, or if you're just hanging out in the living room or the kitchen or dining room and you need to use the restroom, you don't have to go all the way into the primary suite. You can just use it right there. Also, underneath the stairway closet, I always find those really cool. Great storage. I remember as a kid, my mom always stored Christmas decorations and stuff like that in there. It'd also be a really cool game room for the kids, put their toys in there and stuff like that. We're going to head upstairs and we're going to check out the loft area. What I liked about this loft area is it actually had this bump in against the wall to the left here. And as we pan over there, you're going to see it. This is really cool because if you have more guests than you have bedrooms, you could put a Murphy bed there. I didn't measure it, but I'm imagining that you could find a Murphy bed that could potentially fit in there. Also a great spot for built-in bookshelves. I personally love building bookshelves, so I would definitely make that a bookshelf area. little entertainment center, something like that, maybe a combination of both. This bedroom, I felt like wasn't laid out super well with the furniture. It's hard to tell exactly what the layout is, but it was spacious, I will tell you, big enough to put a full-size bed in there, big enough for some furniture. So definitely a good size room. This is one of 3 bedrooms upstairs. There are 2 other bedrooms we're going to take a look at, but we're just going to pan through here one more time. We'll head out, we'll check out the other bedrooms. And there's also a full-size bathroom up here. Something really unique in that bathroom I wanted to point out that I think is super helpful. But let's take a look at this other room. I liked this tri-pane window, or whatever you want to call it, where there's 3 different sections to the window. It definitely adds in a ton of light. That is an option that you can choose when you're building this home, or it may be on the spec home that you decide to buy. But I prefer those because I feel like there's a lot of light that comes in, and when it's raining outside, plenty of space in the window to be able to look outside. Decent sized closet, again, not huge, but plenty of space to store stuff. We're going to head back out here. We're going to check out that full-size restroom that I was mentioning. And there's a particular thing I really liked about this one. So as we walk in, you're going to notice the sinks to the left, and then a separate section for the commode and the shower bath. I really like that because if you have multiple people needing to use the restroom, some people need to get ready, some people need to shower, you have space, you can block it off, people are able to get in and out of there. This is the 3rd bedroom. Again, full-size bed there, good size closet off to the right, great layout. Everything looks really good in this particular bedroom. I didn't see anything that was super awesome to me about it, but I felt like it had plenty of space. So we'll check out this loft area just one more time as we're getting ready to wrap up this video. Again, I like to think of the possibilities you can do here. I also like to think of the possibilities about that 3-car garage we mentioned earlier. I'm the kind of guy that likes woodworking. During 2020, when we were all locked down and everything was closed, I was starting to get into woodworking. I was starting to do some of that stuff along with 350 other million people. But I find it really cool. You can store stuff in there. You can do all kinds of stuff. I like having that extra space in that tandem 3rd-car garage. So if this home is a home that you want to tour, or you want to tour one of the other homes that we've taken a look at, definitely get a hold of me. My information is in the description. I am booking showings weekly, so I'm happy to take you through this home or any of the other homes that you have seen on this channel. But definitely get a hold of me. Also, let me know if there's anything in these videos that you want to see more of, different rooms, focusing on different things, so I can make these videos better for you. And we'll see you in the next one.